Welcome back once again to Hamlet Without Hamlet. I am Tim here, joined by, once again, my esteemed co-host, Ian.
Hello, folks. Ian here. We got David over producing, running the keys. And today we thought it'd be fun to try one of the Buzzfeed quizzes and trivias around media and see how we fare while being watched by you all. So
what do we got? We don't know. This is all blind. We
this
have
is
no idea what's
David
coming.
bringing it at us.
All right, so this is a multiple choice quiz. I am running it, and they can't see the screen, so this will be pretty fun.
We don't even know what movie we're talking about yet.
Oh, it's so much worse than that.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Tim,
Oh, sorry.
how are your shoulders doing?
Well.
Gonna need you to carry this. I can already tell.
Let me get loose.
What was the first movie to use profanity?
Ooh. Ooh.
Would you like the multiple choice?
Yes, please.
Wizard of Oz, Stagecoach, Wuthering Heights, or Gone with the Wind?
Oh, I think I know the answer to that one. I think it's Gone with the Wind. I think it's because he says, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Is my guess. That was 1939, same year as Wizard of Oz. I don't know about the other two, if that was the same year, but I think there was a little bit of a controversy because that was in there.
That would be a curse word of the time, and I could see that if that's what they're considering.
It was indeed Gone with the Wind.
Hey.
Well done.
Way to go, Tim.
Things have certainly evolved since the golden age of film, but today's boundary-pushing blockbusters owe a lot to a small film called Gone with the Wind. All right.
Things have changed. Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
All right. One that you'll never guess. How much power does it take to fuel the Flux capacitor in Back to the Future?
You, sir, before I answer it exactly correctly, do you have any guesses?
How about we get the multiple choice and I get a chance? Because I'm going to need it.
1.31 gigawatts, 12.1 gigawatts, 1.21 gigawatts, and 13.1 gigawatts.
It's got to be the 1.31. Am I wrong?
You're very close. 1.21. And he says gigawatts in the movie, but
He does.
1.21 gigawatts! I
But how fast must the car go?
Let's go 88 miles an hour.
All right. What is the number on the roof of the bus in the movie Speed?
Oh, man, what a good movie.
Another one of those I haven't seen in 20 plus years.
Man.
So good.
Trying to visualize it. I want to say it's like 14 or something. What are the options?
Multiple choices: 35-33, 25-25, 52-53, 25-23.
I think it's the second one.
25-25? What do you say?
His guess is good. I was going to go 25-23. I don't know. It just felt like.
Let's check it. 25-25 is correct.
Look at this guy over here.
Oh, man.
Sorry, folks, letting you down.
What? I mean, we're 100% it's a
Oh,
team.
team. Yeah, okay.
100%
Team.
Yeah. It's a team thing.
There you go.
Who was the first female director to earn over $100 million at the box office? We have Penny Marshall, Greta Gerwig, Sofia Coppola, and Nancy Meyers.
Penny Marshall seems like a good guess because she did A League of Our Own. But something tells me that Sofia Coppola with Lost in Translation went over that mark. But I don't know if she's done any other movies besides that. I know Penny Marshall's done at least two others. I think she did Laverne and Shirley. Could be wrong on that. So that would be my guess. I don't think Nancy Meyers has. I mean, she did Sleepless in Seattle. I think she did You Got Mail. Maybe.
Yeah, and it's director $100 million at the box office.
Right. I think it's got to be Penny Marshall, but do you have any other thoughts, sir?
I'll roll with that.
Penny Marshall. All right. Penny Marshall is correct.
Oh, wow, look at this guy.
Her second film, Big, featuring Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
She reached this milestone again in 1992 with A League of Their Own, which also starred Tom Hanks. You know,
Good
when you
There's no crying in baseball.
That's a good movie. Good movie.
all right. What location served as the setting for many of John Hughes' movies?
Are we talking about like a city or like a high school?
A city. So the options are Sherwood, Iowa, Sharwood, Idaho, Shermer, Illinois, or Sherry, Indiana.
I mean, I gotta be honest. I've seen Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club. And say anything his too, maybe, but I don't. I think I've watched all of them once, maybe.
What were the states that they mentioned?
Iowa, Idaho, Indiana,
In Illinois.
and Illinois. I'd probably guess Indiana.
That was my gut. Just feels.
Sherry, Indiana is incorrect. It was Shermer, Illinois.
Ooh.
Um,
First swing and a miss.
famous filmmaker behind 80s teen flicks like The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Weird Science.
He found his milieu, and he made a lot of money doing it.
Hey,
Some classics.
it ain't broke.
All right. In what state is the house from the Amityville Horror located? New York, Washington, New Jersey, Colorado.
It's either New York or New Jersey. I want to say New York. I think it's
And I was
slightly
thinking New
upstate.
Jersey.
I think it's slightly upstate New York, but if you,
Maybe that's just
if you
because-
feel like New Jersey,
But I could be totally wrong because I mean,
So could I.
I fumbled the last one.
I mean, we both did.
But New Jersey just feels like it's a horror movie on its own. So
Hit us in the comments.
I feel a stronger pull in New York, if you're okay with it.
let's go.
Let's go. All right. It was indeed New York.
Hey. Trusting my man with the broad shoulders.
Yep. The original house was the site of a gruesome murder committed by Ronald DeFeo Jr., resulting in alleged paranormal activities that forced the Lutz family to flee.
Okay.
Oh, the house also attracted the attention of paranormal investigators, whose story was featured in The Conjuring 2. All right. What was Freddy Krueger's serial killer nickname before he died? The Springwood Striker, the Springwood Stabber, the Springwood Snatcher, the Springwood Slasher.
Freddy Krueger had the
Yeah.
fingers, right?
Yep.
So it's either stab or slash to me, right?
I want to say it was slasher, but horror is not my.
Me either. But
Nope.
let's go with slasher then.
Slasher it is, indeed.
Give me that.
Hey, I got one, folks. Thumbs up in the comments
Yeah.
because they need that moral support.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Netflix once accidentally placed which horror movie in its LGBTIQ section,
Oh,
accidentally creating an icon? What movie was it? Blair Witch Project, The Babadook, Sinister, and Saw.
An icon.
of those, the ones that Blair Witch to me just feels like the one that could land there, just somebody blundering across. I don't know. That's right. That's just I definitely don't know. What were the other three again?
Babadook, Sinister, and Saw.
If Saw was already its own thing, I don't think that would have been. And Blair Witch was a thing years ago, but I think it kind of died off and then all of a sudden caught.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm going off of is like Blair Witch all of a sudden kind of came up out of nowhere again and grew in popularity.
Yeah, that checks out for me. Maybe they like thought it was a girl named Blair, or Project Runway, or
yeah. It just seems like I'm just thinking of movies that were all of a sudden just like popped up again on the radar and were popular.
All right, let's check it out. It was Babadook.
Ooh. Oh, I could see that, Duke.
The increasing popularity of the Babadook monster as a joke and meme is evident through its presence on T-shirts at Pride festivals.
Oh, man. The internet is undefeated.
It is.
The internet is wild. All right. What perfume does Clarice Starling wear in Silence of the Lambs? L'Art du Vamp, L'Art du Temp, L'Art du Tempest, L'Art du Sang. And please criticize me for my French in the...
And please, Tim, carry us, because I have not seen...
Yeah. No, I was going to guess Chanel number 5, so that's fine. It's either the second or the fourth, by my memory. Also a great movie. And the last movie to win Best Picture, Director, Actor, and Actress.
So what we're 2 and 4 then?
Temp,
L'Art du Sang.
and Sang. Mm-hmm.
I'll say Sang.
I like it.
Allure of the Saints.
It was, in fact, Temp.
Had it.
Thanks to his powerful olfactory abilities, Dr. Hannibal
Lecter
boasts detecting the scent of the skin cream on her. Oh, so creepy. All right.
It is Lou. Nice Chianti and some fava beans.
All right. What was Drew Barrymore's character name in Scream?
Ooh.
Casey, Stacy, Lacey, Macy.
Oh, gosh.
I think it's Casey.
Have you seen Scream?
Oh, I have.
Yeah?
We just got to the point where...
Which, by the way, brilliant casting.
Yeah.
To have her open the movie and you're like, it's a Drew Barrymore vehicle. And then she just gets murdered. Brilliant.
Yep.
There's been a couple movies that did that where they bring in somebody for the name and then they're gone.
I think it's Casey.
I was feeling Stacy, but I'll go with you on Casey because you know more and I haven't seen it in years.
Casey is correct. She appears first in Scream, gracing the screen for 12 minutes.
As we discussed.
Yep. How many
Spoilers.
people will set on fire while filming Night of the Living Dead? None, 1, 2, 3.
Like in real life or as part of the movie?
I'm just reading you the question. They don't have extra
2?
context.
I want to go with 2 because I feel like 3 is just like...
That's too many people to set on fire.
And it's definitely more than 0 because they wouldn't ask us the question.
Surprisingly, the answer to this question isn't 0. During filming The Night of the Living Dead, not 1, but 3 people were set on fire on set.
Like actually. Awful.
Okay.
Talk about workplace hazards.
Man.
Okay, wait. So John A. Russo and actor Bill Hinsman were both engulfed in flames. The third person who caught on fire was an accident.
As opposed to the first 2.
The first 2 were done purposefully, yes.
Commitment to the act, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
All right. What does Regan say to the astronaut at her mother's party in The Exorcist? Be afraid, be very afraid. They're here. You're going to die up there. And in space, no one can hear you scream.
It's got to be C. Because the last one is the tagline for Alien.
That's where I've heard it. Okay.
What were the first 2?
Be afraid, be very afraid.
Mm-hmm.
They're here.
They're here. That's Poltergeist.
You're going to die up there.
afraid, be very afraid. That's a tagline to something else. It's got to be C.
I like it. You're going to die up there?
Die up there.
All right. That is correct.
And this guy over here.
Yeah.
Be afraid, be very afraid. What is that from? Now I'm curious.
You need to look it up?
I can look it up.
All right. Do tell us.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. The Fly.
Ah.
With Jeff Goldblum.
Mm.
In his mid-20s, which he's just always been old, so that feels weird.
He really has been.
But man, is he so good as Dr. Malcolm in Jurassic Park 1, 2, 5.
Yes, okay.
All right. What is the name of Ripley's cat in Alien? Jonesy, Church, Cat, Mrs. Norris.
My wife would know this one. Mrs. Norris, maybe?
That was that or
Yeah.
Jonesy where I went between, and if you miss North, then we got that one.
All right. It was, in fact, Jonesy.
Should have stood up for yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't have a hard conviction either way. I actually leaned a little Miss Jonesy, but
All right.
yeah.
What was the name of Luke Skywalker's childhood friend who dies during the Battle of Yavin?
Oh, come on. I figured you had this one. I'm just like,
Battle of Yavin? Isn't that the Attack of the Clones?
No. New Hope.
New Hope. Yavin. Red Rooster.
No. So the Death Star is coming around and trying to blow up Yavin 4, which is where the base is. So the options are Ponda Baba, Cornelius Evanson, Biggs Darklighter, and Dak Ralter.
should we phone a producer on this one? I feel like he's seen these.
I am pretty sure that it's Biggs, but it might be Dak. We'll find out here. It was, in fact, Biggs.
Nice.
There we
good
go.
Save, good save. Way to use the lifeline.
Hey,
Yes.
he's the Star Wars buff.
Phone a producer. Oh, boy. See, I see how much my kids are into Star Wars now, and I don't think I'm a Star Wars buff anymore.
I enjoy
Well,
the
you got
movies.
us beat, so.
Fair. Fair. All right. Which iconic movie franchise has been around the longest? James Bond, Godzilla, Planet of the Apes, and Star Trek.
It's got to be Godzilla. That's been around since like the 30s.
It's got to be that. It's just the Planet of the Apes
'Cause-
one that they sneak the Planet of the Apes in there. It makes me kind of like, but it's got to be Godzilla.
Well, the first Planet of the Apes was with Charlton Heston in like 63. And then the first Bond was 64 with Dr. No. And then Star Trek was Gene Roddenberry like 72 or something like that.
I mean, it's got to be Godzilla, but just that the Planet of the Apes just sneaking in there just makes me. We'll go Godzilla.
Godzilla is correct.
Yeah. Does it say what year?
54.
Yeah. That's been around forever.
Kojima!
All right. Which Shakespeare play has the most movie adaptations? Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Midsummer Night's Dream, and Hamlet.
I feel like because it's Hamlet without Hamlet, we just have to pick Hamlet, even if it's wrong.
I think that's right. I
Because
know
you
of
want to
at-
go to
I-
Romeo and Juliet, but
I know of at least 4 Hamlets. I only know
Right.
of 2. I know there's a Juliet and Romeo coming out in April this year.
does Romeo and Juliet count?
I mean, it kind of depends on what they're going. If it's like straight adaptation.
But I do kind of feel like Hamlet is the. I mean, do we just commit because that's us, so we got it?
It is Hamlet without Hamlet, so let's go for it. And that is correct.
Hey,
Yep.
there we go.
All right.
Hamlet,
Hamlet.
Olivier, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah,
What we're
let's
doing with
see.
Timothy Chalamet soon to be my guess.
It doesn't actually say how many adaptations they're counting here. Hamlet faces tough competition, especially with the abundance of Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth movies. All right. When was the first full-color feature-length movie ever made?
Full color.
You have guesses before I give dates?
Well, and I believe that Wizard of Oz was the first one to use it, and that was when she went to Oz. That was 39.
But that wasn't full color. They're saying full color.
Right. So, was Gone with the Wind in color? I don't know. I mean,
So your options are 39, 30, 23, and 12.
I'm going to go with 39.
I'm going to default to that.
39. Wrong.
What?
Is it 1930?
The movie with our king and queen through India seems just as uninteresting as the title suggests. It was a documentary that followed George V and Mary of Teck through their coronation visit to India.
In 1930. In full color.
Natural color kinematograph.
Wow.
Well, I'm
We're
flabbergasted.
all learning things, folks.
Man.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. All right. What was the first movie to use digital de-aging? Digital de-aging. Tron Legacy, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, or The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
X-Men Last Stand would have been 2005-ish. Origins would have been 2007, 6, something like that. What was the first one you said?
Which Origins was it? Origins
Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, yep.
Yep, so that was a little later.
What was the first movie you mentioned?
Tron Legacy.
Tron Legacy. They de-aged
That was
Jeff Bridges.
That was later than those.
Benjamin Button, what year did that come out? It was like 2010? But did Last Stand use de-aging? I can't think of a character they would have de-aged.
But I feel like with Wolverine and Hugh Jackman, because Wolverine Origins, he was younger. They want him to look younger. But it could be a trap.
I'd say Benjamin Button for me.
And obviously that's a movie all around age, so I'm fine with going to that.
Benjamin Button.
Lock it in.
It was The Last Stand.
Oh,
Wow.
should see that movie again, even though it's not great.
I just saw it recently too, so
Um,
obviously that didn't help me.
in a flashback scene at the movie's beginning, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen were digitally de-aged.
Oh, that makes sense now. Son of a
Where
gun.
were you, Ian?
Yep.
Where were you, Ian?
I told you, yeah, when they go to the house and they meet Gene and
That's right.
Yep.
All right.
Totally.
What movie has the highest on-screen body count of all time? Wait, just to be clear, we're talking about kills. We're talking about deaths.
I think I know the answer to this one.
Okay. What is...
I think it's Return of the King. By like a mile. Because there's that battle at Minas Tirith where like the dead army comes out and just like runs over the whole army of the attackers. I think.
Yeah.
I've heard that bit of trivia. Maybe that's not one of the options here, or it's been usurped since, but
also with some of the Star Wars Clone Wars stuff, they've had like the horde or clones, something that's included with that.
Most of the clones die off screen, though.
yeah. It's the on-screen
okay.
part. Like blowing up a planet wouldn't necessarily count because you're not seeing
Fair.
people, I would imagine. But
We're just locking that in blindly, or are we going to hear the...
I'd lock it in unless you say it's not one of the options. Then we can hear them and discuss.
It is one of the options.
I'd lock it
All right. I'm clicking it. The Lord of the Rings Return of the King is, in fact, the one. Out of the 836 deaths in the film, most of them are humans. So they're talking about,
So not even the orcs and everything else. It just
yeah, that's pretty wild because that's talking more about like up close things you can see and understand. The options were the Two Towers, Kingdom of Heaven, and Troy. So it had some stiff competition.
yeah, those are. I've actually seen all those movies. Believe that. How about that, folks?
In Citizen Kane, who or what is Rosebud?
You got this one?
What is Citizen Kane?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say you haven't seen it. I'm gonna deliver this like Peter Griffin does in Family Guy. It's a sled. It's a sled from his childhood. There, I just saved you 2 boring, boobless hours.
What? Well, you are correct. It's a sled. It is, in fact, a sled.
It's a clip where they do like the toss away, and he comments on how he edited the Citizen Kane VHS before he brought it back to the video store. And it cuts in, and he goes, Rosebud right at the beginning. It's a sled. He recorded himself on a VHS and returned. Oh, man.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wrong. So 13 out of 20.
Right. We just passed your 12 out of 20 disappointing Lark. So
Hey.
Yes. But it also says here at the bottom that we outscored a very high percentage. You scored better than 93% of quiz takers.
how about that?
Nice work, Tim.
Nice work, Ian.
Glad I could be here for Moral Sport.
We should have stuck to Jonesy. Man,
Yeah.
feel bad about that one. You had it. You had it.
I just need to get a little more polished on my movie knowledge.
More confidence. And then The Last Stand, man.
I felt X-Men, but I just didn't. I can't believe I overlooked that opening scene. I was just thinking of the whole overall movie of Wolverine being younger.
All right.
Missed
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
Thank you for leading us through that.
Yeah.
I mean, you sent along something to use. This is good stuff.
And then our one lifeline.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
got us into
Yeah.
the top tier there.
It did.
Thanks.
Thanks. I would have guessed Dak, so I'm glad you swooped in.
Yeah.
It was the only one that sounded familiar. But
Yeah.
Cool name. I would have picked that too.
well, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's our general movie knowledge from Buzzfeed. So thank you, Buzzfeed, for providing that for us. And there we go. Hamlet without Hamlet. Thanks for joining us.